Because I didn't get a notification that we were live.
It should be live on the Facebook.
While over half a million people are dead from the coronavirus. He runs the wealthiest company in the world. They hide tens of billions of dollars overseas in offshore accounts. They pay no federal taxes at all. And they've created a plantation work environment that's abusive. And we're here fighting for not just a living wage and a family sustaining wage and hazard pay and health care, but the right to organize in the workplace. Our democracy cannot stand, cannot function, will never be healthy unless organized labor is at the table making decisions for our company. It cannot stand, it cannot work. So it's my honor to be here with you, Brother Mike. Thank you for your leadership. I am so inspired today by the workers of Amazon. This is just the beginning. These workers are going to win their union. They're going to win. Country to pay attention, because you should be doing the same thing in your workplace, and we got your back. Right. Woo! We're not talking with Amazon. This is Lyft, this is Uber, this is Walmart, this is Tesla, all of the companies across this country that continue to be abusive, and provide terrible work conditions for our workers. We stand with you in love, and joy, and pride. We will be in this fight together for as long as I am alive and as long as we are here. It's my honor to be with you, brother. Thank you all so much.
From Missouri, Corey Bush, C-O-R-R. C-U-S-H.
No relation, no relation. Someone who I talk about all the time. I'm not just a congresswoman. I'm a politicist. I was an activist before I ever thought about going into politics. So standing here with RWDSU, standing here with our Amazon workers, standing here is an honor and a privilege to be able to be in solidarity. Not stand in front of you, not take your voice from you, but to help highlight what you're doing. The 4 months that you've been out there on the ground, 4 months, whether it was cold, rain, whether it was hot, you stood, regardless of the intimidation tactics. So that's why we're standing here. When I think about our past, especially as Black folks, and we think about what has been used in this country to try to have us have a certain mindset about how we should present ourselves, where we should go, how we should look. I feel like that's what's happening right now, Jeff Bezos. So Jeff Bezos, speaking to you, that person who received $70 billion in 2020 in the midst of a pandemic, while so many were dying, while so many were sick, while so many couldn't get up. And you stopped the hazard pay. After 2 months, $2. At one point, they got to say, my last $2. That's what it was, the last $2. You gave your workers who are showing up when 20,000 of your folks, how dare you, Jeff Bezos, 20,000 of your folks were infected with COVID-19, and yet you for the folks that were showing up.
Hello, somebody.
You have workers who are walking around your facility who have to pick and pack and stow every second. Like this is harassment. This is incessant harassment to have these cameras around all the time documenting this. We're talking about people. And let's be clear, Jeff Bezos. If they didn't show up, you won't be on the line. We know that. So what happens to your company? So we call on you, Brother Bezos, to do right by your workers. Do right by the people that prop you up to be at home in your big brand new California house. Yeah, we know. We are asking you to treat people with decency and humanity. Treat them like they are human. And not only that, you have 5,385 union eligible employees in that facility. 80% of those folks are Black. They look like me. And let me say this. You should be doing your work to make sure that you do everything in your power to lift up those Black voices, to make sure that those Black bodies are safe. That should be your work. And because it hasn't been, I'm calling you out right now. And so what you will do is you will remove that heavy police presence that is on the outside and partly on the inside of that facility. No more cherries and berries lights going on the outside. No more of that. We're calling on you right now. To remove.
Amen.
You are in town. We can come and meet and have that moment. So if you want to meet, it is possible. We are standing up for our workers, but we're also standing up saying these workers, folks, most of whom that look like me, we deserve better. And if you won't give it to us, we'll take it.
Yes, ma'am.
Come back here. Let me say this, you done brought the Ferguson activists out here to Alabama.
Woo!
Connecting with this tradition of folks that fight. You don't want this. So let's say, okay, how about you don't want this? So let's just do right. Do
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Do right.
Woo!
Is Congresswoman Nakima Williams,
Woo!
who has the great honor of representing Georgia in Congress and taking Congressman John Lewis's. She may be representing Georgia, but she's a daughter of Alabama. None other than Congresswoman Nakima, Nikema Williams, the Congresswoman from Georgia.
Woo!
I came over to Alabama because I heard that there are some working conditions going on over at Bessemer at the Amazon facility. I've been reading about it in the news. I heard our president talk about the right of workers to organize. And I've been reading my briefings on a bill that's coming up in Congress, the PRO Act, where we as members of Congress will have the opportunity to make sure that we put our activism into policy. And we give workers not only the right to organize, not only the right to fair wages, but the right to go to work safely. The right to simply go to the bathroom when you need to get up and go. I'm here today standing in solidarity with Linda. I'm here today standing in solidarity with Deshaun. I'm here today standing in solidarity with all of the workers on the front line at the Amazon facilities, because they are doing the work so that we can stay home safe during this pandemic. Y'all, I'm a former union member. I got my roots right here in Alabama at the United Food and Commercial Workers Union when I had my very first job at food for a grocery store. Some of y'all might remember it. And so I know what it's like to go into a workplace and have union protection. And I want that for every worker in this country. As Congresswoman Stoll said, I have the honor to represent a district that was held by Congressman John Lewis for 33 years in the United States Congress. And Congressman Lewis taught us that sometimes you gotta get into some good trouble. So I'm here standing in solidarity to get into that good trouble, because he also told us, when you see something that is not right, when you see something that is not fair, when you see something that is not just, you have a moral obligation to stand up, to speak up, and to find a way to get in the way. So Amazon, you're here today to get in the way. because you will do right by these workers, and we're gonna see it. So thank you for being here today, and we're gonna go over to the facility so that we can find out what's going on and talk to more workers throughout this process, because we are here to make sure that they have a voice amplified in this conversation.
Woo!
5 minutes for questions for the Congress people, and then we're going to wrap up and head over to the gate so the solidarity there. Daniel Bruff from Caucus Chair. I've been in touch with a number of workers at the plant who are not recommended to me by either the union or the company. There's been a push on endorsements, including from Stacey Abrams and a quasi-endorsement from Joe Biden. One worker I happen to be in touch with is a young African-American out gay man. He very much respects your accomplishment, very much finds you an inspiring person. But when it comes to endorsements, he's skeptical that anyone who doesn't work at the Amazon plant really knows what it's like in there. And he's skeptical of the union and also of just these endorsements, even for people like you who do it. How would you respond to him?
Well, that's why we came here first and foremost to listen and to learn and to engage with the people who have been here on the ground. As you heard throughout this press conference,
Do you mind if we switch for a
so I came first as a listener.
Do you want these?
From the people who work at the plant, and based on those interactions, it's how I engage. And I've heard from Amazon workers across the country prior to coming here. So we're always listening, learning, and gathering information. And listen, there's going to be disagreement. That's how it goes. But the right to unionize and organize is a fundamental right in our country. So that's something that I support, whether it's Amazon or with other organizations as well. But
Alabama's lone Democrats. Their visit means so much to the people of Amazon, Investment, Alabama, and this union, and this district, and this state. Because as my dad, who's a high school basketball coach, would say, it's okay to stand alone if you're standing up for what's right. I want to thank my colleagues for being reinforcement to let Alabama, to let the workers of Amazon know that they are not alone. That we see you, we hear you, and we're here to stand with you.
I just want to say to both of you guys that you gotta look at the meaning of this and the context of it. In our country, among very few countries in the world, the employer is allowed to be a party to a union election. Who has more power over you than your boss? Who sets your wages, who sets your hours, who could fire you? In America, you could be fired for a good reason, a bad reason, or no reason at all, unless you have a union. That's the power Amazon has. And their goal in a campaign like this is to create tension. Their goal is to people say, I just can't stand this. Just let this be over. And this is what you're both sort of showing that Amazon, this is the idea of Amazon's campaign. Just questions like this. And I want you to know, as someone who's helped workers organize in hundreds of workplaces, that it is hard, really hard to be a worker in a facility when your boss is trying to crush the effort to form a union. And so these workers are going up against one of the most powerful companies in the world, the very symbol in a way of the global economy today. And I just am so inspired by workers who can see that, really kind of just survive it even. Say, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm Jerry School's dad, the basketball coach. I'm just going to stand up for myself whatever my beliefs, wherever they come from my family, from my religion, whatever it is, then I'm just gonna try to do what's right. The pressure that is coming down upon me. And I'm just inspired by this situation. We're here to learn, and so far what we're learning is that a company of this moment that symbolizes the latest technology tools is putting all of that to use. All the surveillance, all of the quantification, all of the video and the nanotechnology and to keep these workers down. And it's inspiring to know it and to be here. And next week, we're going to pass the PRO Act, which says the boss isn't a party to an election. This is up to the workers, pro or con. It's up to them to decide. If employers do all these things to stop them, they will suffer serious penalties. If workers form a union, there will be arbitration. They will have a first contract and many other things. It says if a company and a union want to negotiate so that all the employees have pay their fair share, they could do that. It's America, after all. We ought to have freedom of contract. So anyway, these workers struggling like this symbolizes to me the whole chance for America to pivot, to finally deal with this incredible income and wealth inequality that we have, and this structural racism we have, and to say that a very young 80 or 90% African American workforce in Western Alabama could just stand up and say, our lives matter, we matter, we will be treated like human beings. And it's great to be here. I'm gonna say that. Yeah.
Thank you.
We've got time for one last question. Go ahead, and we've got to wrap up.
Say they are not interested.
I think that it's really. What I say is that there's no other district in America than a district that is symbolic for the blood shed in my district, Birmingham, Montgomery, Westbury, in my district. So, for ordinary Americans, have the temerity and audacity to organize peacefully and to march for their basic rights. There's nothing more American than standing up for what you believe in. And so, as the proud representative of Alabama's 7th Congressional District, the Civil Rights District, I am proud to stand with Amazon workers as they carry on this rich tradition of standing up for what you believe in. And I'm sorry, all of us, that workers should have the right to organize, they should be able to choose that route, not be employed.
Thank you all for coming so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey guys, we're gonna can you hear me?